Welcome back to Let's Play Kirby's Dream Course. Yeah, it's not as big and bombastic as previous games, but hey, this is a little more laid back. It is a golf game. So in the previous episode, we started the game, first episode, and we went over some of the basics and finished off Course 1, not without some mistakes, but still with a gold medal nonetheless. So in this episode, as you'd expect, we're going to be taking on Course 2. Let's see what the preview window shows us. Hello, new ability. Is that Krakow? Gordo? Well, this has some interesting implications, doesn't it? Be doing okay there, Kirby? And so we have a new backdrop, something nice and outer space looking, some new music, and why yes, that is a Yogurt Yard remix. See, hear it? So we have a couple new elements on this hole. First of all, we have enemies that hover in the air. There are two types of enemies that do this. Well, more than two, but these are the two we're going to be seeing the most often. Gaspar over here in the nightcap hovers higher up, while this enemy down here called, I kid you not, Mr. P. Umpkin, tends to hover down lower. And we also have a squishy down here. Go figure. Secondly, we do have a new hazard. These, well, there wouldn't be a golf game without sand traps. If you're moving on the ground when you go over these, it absolutely kills your momentum and leaves you stuck there. Same happens if you're doing an aerial shot and you land in them. So take care to avoid them. Fortunately, we don't have to really worry about that on this hole. It's a very straightforward hole, as long as you think to do something. You see, as you can tell by this, by the indicator guide thing here, if we use full power on this aerial shot, we'll sail right over that gas bar and miss it. So what if we were to use a little less? So he's about 3/4 power. About the same, about the right height to land, hit the gas bar, then hit the P Umpkin, and with a little boosting, we should be able to get to a hole-in-one. Just a little heads up, I tried to boost after I hit the P Umpkin. I actually hit the input a little too late. Err on the side of being early if you want to make sure you get it. So, nice way to start off the first hole, isn't it? Nice way to start off the second course with the first hole, but you get the idea. Hole 2, we have a Sparky sitting right here, and just as you saw in the little course preview, this baby will give us the Spark ability. Use that and you'll be able to take out a couple different types of enemies that would normally just sit right in your way. Wispy here being one of them, and his buddy. Not often you see two Wispy. Well, I guess there was the Twin Woods and Kirby Superstar, but I digress. We have another Gaspar and P. Umpkin down here, and a Broom Hatter sitting at the bottom, another new enemy. Oh, it's just another idle one. He's just kind of there to keep things varied. So, let's, you want a little more power than you'd expect here. Get Spark. One disadvantage of Spark is that you actually cannot boost while Spark is active. Alright, no enemy, none of the required enemies done for, but we can still do some stuff here. So if we time this right, you see a full power shot will hit, let us hit both these aerial enemies, but we gotta get back to this Broom Hatter. So let's take advantage of a little fact that if we hold B down, while right as we let go of Y, we'll be able to change our spin while keeping the camera locked at this changed location. So if we add some backspin, 4, 5, that's 6. Too much. Let's put it at 4 notches of backspin. That should do well enough. So if we get this, aim this right. This is not going to go as planned. Maybe if we can luck out and boost here. Too early. Well, it looks like we're settling for a 3 on this hole. Oh well. So, we just set this up. Our aerial shot at max power is going to carry us a little too far, but with 4 notches of backspin, Kirby will bounce back just a little under normal conditions, and that will be enough to land in the cup here. And that time I actually got it. And that pink means that we hit it at perfect. Hit it at perfect, yes. And we hit a perfect shot at exactly full power. That gives you, believe it or not, just a little more than what you would expect a 100% shot to give you. It's more like a 105%, I don't know. So keep that in mind. Hole 3 here gives us a couple new things. For one, that Gordo sitting in the middle of the hole. Spark does not affect them whatsoever. He'll still just get hit. Secondly, the elephant in the room. These spinning squares here. Touch them and they'll screw up your trajectory and give you a little more momentum if you're slowing down. But the good news is, we do have a way of taking care of them in the form of this spin switch here. Touch that and it'll deactivate or reactivate any spinning squares on the hole. So if we hit that, we'll be able to line things up just fine to crash into these 3 Waddle Dees here. Yeah, it took us this long to run into a Waddle Dee. Not your typical Kirby game. So we want right about this. Stop here, boost. Boost again on the border here. And got it. That went well. But let's not take this for granted. Let's not jinx things either. And let's keep this going. Got a nice stock of extra lives in case things go south later on. Hole 4 is already crazy looking. So we have a new enemy here in the form of Kracko. Yeah, another recurring Kirby enemy is here to harass us again. He does more than just get in the way in the air. As you see, he shoots lightning down. If you're under him, you'll get hit. But Spark does get rid of him, as you saw in the little course preview. And we have a wheelie down here who will give us the wheel ability. We'll touch on that in just a second here. So we have a couple more hovering enemies, a Kaboo and a border on the far end here. So we want to set this up with the max power is shot. No spin will be fine. Our main objective is to get rid of this Kracko and then hit the wheelie. You see, once you've... if you've used an ability already on your shot, and then you touch an enemy that gives you a different ability, you can immediately use the new ability. So we time this just right. We will let Kirby hit the ground immediately and then take off running, hitting those 2 enemies. Going non-stop until he hits a wall, or in this case, that border. Let's boost, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Got it! We'll let you carry straight over a lot of different grounded hazards, such as those sand traps. They'll even let you go straight across water. But it's not infallible. You will keep going until you hit into a wall or a border, which could lead you right off the side of stuff if you're not careful. And, oh boy. I hate this hole, okay? I'm going to be frank with you. This hole sucks. You see, it's next to impossible to even get a 2 on this hole, and it's just a pain to do anything with. Especially since you see how this is going to work already, don't you? So you want to start with a grounded shot here, immediately go into wheel, take out the broom header and the squishy, bounce back, and immediately land in the sand trap. Now, you see, if we try to do anything involving a grounded shot in the sand, we're not going to get anywhere. So we want to use an aerial shot and possibly use a combination of backspin and side spin to line up with that other Kaboo and possibly bounce back. In theory, it gets a little harder because, as you can see, a full power aerial shot just puts you right on that slope. Meaning you're not going to get accurate, you're not going to get an accurate, you're not going to get an accurate gauge on where your spin will take you on a less than full power shot. And this game doesn't really give you the means to see where a shot would go at less than full power. It's another flaw, unfortunately. So the best thing you can do is try to gauge how things will go by moving the guide to a flat surface. We want max backspin. And now we want to sort of kind of get a feel for, so like we want this to kind of bounce back at around a 30-degree angle to the left or so. Let's see what kind of side spin will give us that. To the left, that's the wrong way. Right. Maybe one more? No, that's wrong. Too much. Looks like we'll just have to try this. So for this shot, God help us. Wait a minute. Where's this gonna go? That'll just. No, I was thinking there for a second that if I just launched one onto the slope, that maybe I could just rebound and hit the back Kaboo, but then we'd be missing that Kaboo, right in front of us, so that won't work either. Let's just go with our original plan. Backspin about 2/3 power to hit that first Kaboo, and then let's just see where this goes, because we're not going to finish this in 2 anyway. In the sand here, but we can work with that. Let's see, let's do 3 notches of backspin. we're going to want to try and deliberately come a little short and then bounce the rest of the way in. See how this does. We're good, alright. That is one hole I will gladly take a 3 on. Okay, bunch of 1s and 3s so far. It's okay. Hole 6 now. We got a warp behind us. Hopefully we won't have to worry about that. We got a parasol wild do right here. And 3 floating enemies in succession. Looks like we're gonna have to be we're gonna have to have some smart parasol use here. So let's do this. Hit wheel immediately. As soon as we start to go down, curve to the left, hit the pumpkin, and if we're lucky, we're gonna land far. I don't know why I said far. We're gonna land just short of that. It's a shame. I just have to tap this one in. It's a 2. It's still okay. So, it's not a hole in 1, but it's alright. And now we have yet another hazard. You see that grass there with the arrows on it? It serves a couple different purposes. For one, it's sort of kind of like rough almost, if you know your golfing terms, thicker grass, etc. It slows Kirby down a little, but more importantly, it causes Kirby to curve in the direction the arrows are pointing, and that can be a pain. So we're going to have to compensate for that, while also making sure we don't run smack dab into that moving Gordo. So if we move roughly 4 spots to the left of the, no, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the default. Wait just a little bit for the Gordo to come back around. Wait for it. We want about 3/4 power. Wait for it. Gonna try to boost off the border here, and that should carry us right in. Or just a little past it. Yeah, I am taking some notes for some parts of this. I just want to properly use my experience here so I don't look like a complete idiot. You know how it is. On one hand, you get to laugh. On the other hand, it's really demeaning on my end. Don't worry. You'll get your laughs later on. Trust me. Just trust me. Either way, we got another 2 and a 13. And we're back at we're at another final hole. The music's playing. This one's interesting in the sense that there are no borders to be found anywhere here. We got a couple squishies on slopes, a Croco that we can't do anything with since we don't have Spark, and as such, we're going to be looking to avoid that guy. We have a new object here. This one's an air vent. If you cross over that, you'll get blown into the air, appropriately enough. The distance you get sent up is inversely proportional to the speed at which you're traveling. In layman's terms, the slower you're going, the higher it sends you. And so we're going to want to use that to get back and hit these 2 enemies back here. So, as you see, we want to bounce kind of up there and then slowly fall back down and use the air vent to carry us back up. Though we will want some slight topspin to give us a little more movement. That's more topspin than I wanted. Let's compensate. Going up. Up we go. This is going to get dicey. Boost. Oh, crud. Missed the boost. This is going to be a 2. That's a shame. Okay. Well, fun fact. If I remember correctly, this is actually the first hole I ever got a hole in 1 on. I just kind of lucked into it. Shame I didn't get to show that this time around. Oh well. No 2 major mistakes on this. It was a very nice playthrough of course 2 overall. 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2. For a grand total of 15 strokes. And since we scored very, very well, that's another gold medal. Silver? Well then. Still okay. So, overall, we still did pretty well compared to the previous undergoers of this course. Bomber finished with 19 there. I'm not sure how good of an idea it is for a walking nuke, essentially. You've seen Crash ability to be playing golf using itself as the ball, but apparently it took it 7 tries to get 19 strokes, and we just got 15 in our first. So, that's that. Course 2 is out of the way. Not quite the result I had hoped, but it's still not bad. And so, next episode, we're going to be taking on Course 3. I mean, of course. You know, this project's going to be a little more predictable in that regard. What can I say? And so, until next time.